And as always, we show the world settings. I have turned up the gatherable objects health multiplier to increase the amount of spins that they're going to have to do on the rock in order to make them work more. And I also decreased the spawn intervals so it comes back quicker, so they're at more of a constant work, and so that this doesn't take me too much time to test. And hopefully it will offset to where there'll be a constant rotation of metal for the dig toys to mine. Today we are testing food, and we're going to go in depth with this. We're going to see timers. We'll do that first to see the timers and the difference between a level 4, 3, 2, and 1 cooling. And then we'll check the timer when it's outside of the refrigerator. Say if it was in your feeding box. We'll write all those down for every food type that there is that's cooked food. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take the long process, and luckily I have gotten a couple of these dudes as well to ensure that time won't be taking that long. It's just going to take a long time to write everything down. Wait, did that actually have an effect? Oh, he has a negative work speed, so that actually does affect the timers. Well, you find something out new every day. And if you guys actually want me to do a deep dive on freezer pals for some reason, I'll do it. There needs to be like 1,000 likes on this video in order for me to actually do that. I'm gonna put an outlandish number that I probably won't hit, and then that way I don't have to do it. But otherwise, we're not going to revisit this. Today, again, we're just talking about food, so that's what we're going to concentrate on. I'm going to go through and I'm going to write all these down. It will be in a sheet at the end of the video with all of the food and its spoil timers based off of the level 1, 2, 3, and 4 freezer pals. All right, we went through and we looked at all the numbers on everything that's in the box. Well, the next part, does it, is what I'm calling it. And we have A, B, C, and D. So does it increase work speed, attack, defense? Does it decrease food consumption or sanity depletion? How long do those two effects last between either the sanity depletion or the work speed or the decrease in hunger? Does it have any hidden effects that we don't see? Like, for instance, we're going to read the description and figure out what it does based off of the description. As to form a base, we are going to take and get him hungry out of the box. We're going to be using big toys, as I've deemed him. He's a lucky that I found yesterday. He has nothing done to him. The only thing that he has is lucky on him. So that's not going to affect his food consumption. It's just his work speed and his attack. It's just going to be funny because he's huge. That's the only reason why I wanted to use him. So I'll go down my list that I have, which is basically the list from top to bottom in the actual chart for the kitchen. And we'll test those as it comes. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, through much debate, I figured that I didn't want to subject you all to the mass amount of testing that I did with all of that, so I just did a speed up through the whole thing. It was 80 different types of food. If you want to pause the video and see the results here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and X. These are the spoil timers for each one of the foods, with them being at a level 1, 2, 3, and 4 freezing, and then the X is when they're out of the box or out of the freezer and in your feeding box. The HT is the hunger times. These were the times between the dig toys eating. So he'd eat, get the food into him, and then he would, by the next time that he ate, that was the timer that we had. He ate, and then as soon as he started working, I'd start the timer, and then when he went to eat again, before he went off, said that he was hungry, I stopped the timer. So that's all of those where it says HT, which is hunger timer. BT is buff timer, and there was no deviation with any of the buffs. All of them were at 10 minutes of how long the buffs actually lasted, with attack, defense, the hunger buff, and the work buff. And then anything that didn't have a buff, I put an N on for no, and then put 0 for the BT timer. So this is the first page. This is all the foods off of the first one. So if you want to pause and check that out. This is the second page. So if you want to pause and check that out, by all means. The main ones that I really want to talk about are pizza, Stamina, which did incredibly well at 3 minutes and 30 seconds with a work and hunger buff. And then Salad did very well as well at 1:14 with just a work percentage of 30. Now, the work percentage of the pizza is the same at 30%, but it also gives a hunger buff, and the hunger buff lasts the same amount of time as the work buff. So they're all at 10 minutes. One of the other things that I wanted to show you as well is with the burger, which was at 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but it gave you a work increase and a sanity decrease, but the work speed was at 50%. That was a big margin there. Also wanted to talk about the Do Mud chowder, which gave you an increase of 50% as well for work speed, and it gave you a hunger buff. So this one probably did the best with 3 minutes and 15 seconds. With their work speed being boosted like that, that was pretty crazy. For a Dig Toys to go that long between eating was pretty impressive. And the spoil timers aren't too bad. I mean, out of the box, it's 10 minutes. But then I also went through and wrote down the nutrition and the sanity that they give. And one thing that I noticed as well is that the nutrition, if it was a lot higher, would fill them up much faster with only one piece or with less food. And with that being said, some of these other ones like roasted Rendrex at 252 nutrition and the Brawn Cherry Rib Roast, these didn't do too bad as far as the actual timing as well, because you can see here that it went for 3 minutes and 14 seconds and the Brawn Cherry went for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. There were no hidden buffs that we could see or find, and there was nothing that had like a strange description that would basically say anything along the lines of like helping with heat resistance or cold resistance or stamina increases or anything like that. That could change in the future just because of the way that it's a lot of them are worded. For instance, if we look at the description on the Gale Claw, grilled Gale Claw, it says grilled meat full of vitality for flying high in the sky. I tried this with flyers and I tried this with ground pals as well. This did not give a stamina boost. It was the exact same time with it or without it. And there's also with the Rendrex that says, when taken from the flames, Rendrex meat rapidly drops in temperature. This allows it to retain freshness for longer periods of time, making it the perfect emergency ration. Well, the timers are still the same on that as compared to most anything in the game. Most common outside of the box is 20 minutes. You have higher ones like the jam-filled bun, which is the highest at, I think it was an hour when it's outside of the box that it will last. But yeah, even the cake did fairly well for what it's worth. You look on here, the cake allowed them to work for about 2 minutes and 48 seconds before you went to go eat again. And it's expensive to make and you're using it for breeding, but that shows that nutrition itself has a big part to play into it, as we can see here, because the nutrition is at 656. I only took one cake to fill them up, and the sanity went up to 82 by 82. Yeah, this took the reason why I didn't want to subject people to the whole stopping and going is because it was 80 meals. It took me about 7 hours of testing. Also, with the Do Mud chowder, one thing that I was going to mention, because it gives such a high increase with its work and hunger at 50% work speed, if you wanted to farm this, I'll tell you the best way. It is veil it. While fighting together, ground pals drop more items. Now this goes for their meat as well, and high quality pal oil. So if you're farming for pal oil and you want to use some of this meat, make some Do Mud chowder, then you could do that by maxing out a Veilet and going out there and have her on your side and just destroying Do Muds up near where Anubis is, right over here. And they're all over this territory. They're not hard to find. But yeah, then you come back, and if you got salad going or something, you could do the Do Mud chowder, which is just lettuce, tomato, and the Do Mud meat. And then you can feed that to your animals and have them going 50% faster than they already are. Right now, with everything else that's going on with his mining skill, he's at 352 working. And as you can see, this is an Anubis, and his mining is at 4, but that's fast. Imagine having your whole crew just Do Mudded stew up, and going that quick. Not a normal Anubis, but a work speed Anubis goes pretty quick. But comparatively, it's just night and day difference. It's a huge speed boost. Based off of the information, choose what you want to do. I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be farming Do Muds, and I'm going to get that Veilet up. Next video is going to be on actually talking about these types of pals in general that allow you to get more drops from certain PAL types. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, drop a sub, do what you want, play how you want. We'll see you guys on the next one. Keep your willy washed. Peace out.